Dinner for shoes, please.
Hello. Welcome to an episode of Dinner for Shoes. We're back on that special guest beat. I am so thankful because that means that I don't have to do the whole episode by myself and I have a little bit of help, right? Thank goodness, because these girls never help me. Although the girls are going to be a huge part of today's episode and a very important part. I have a little bit of chicken in my teeth. Hang on. All right. Today's episode is called Lara Eurdolian and Pom Pom Charlie on dog fashion. Lara is an incredible person who rescued her senior Pomeranian Charlie in Palm Springs when she went for Coachella. Since then, she has literally devoted her life to supporting organizations that promote rescuing, especially senior dogs. And her and Charlie have been all over the place. They literally can do media together. During our interview, which you'll see very, very soon, Charlie sat on Lara's lap the entire time. I was like blown away. I was like, I can't do that with the cats, right? And they just love each other so much. Like, I feel like Charlie knew every time Lara was saying something about him and he would like give her a kiss. And it was just adorable. And all right, let's start with the outfit behind the shoes because I dressed according to Lara and Charlie's love story. I felt like my outfit was very Palm Springs. I was like, if I was in Palm Springs, like what would I wear? And I didn't go Coachella vibes and do festival-ish, but I went with more like 60s style, just like colorful, poppy Palm Springs. So I have a few things that I want to talk about. So my shoe is called a yellow slingback, but it's by Becks. And this is an Italian-made footwear brand. They do a lot of fun, colorful footwear, and I'm absolutely obsessed. I feel like this little rectangle adornment that's on the toe just reminds me of like a credit card. I don't know why, but that's what it's giving. And so I went with that for my pop of color. I'm wearing striped significant other pants. I love these. They're pink. They're super cute. And my one shoulder top is from Garage. I also have my JW Pay bag over here. And I decided, since this episode is going to focus on dog fashion, pet fashion, of course, we're not leaving out the cats. I decided, why don't I start putting treats in my bag so that the cats chill and stay up here. So here you go. Have a treat. Come get it. Come get it. I know you're gonna. Oh, you can't see because the book, Lara's book, is in front, which we're going to talk about in just a sec. And now Kit's like, why don't I get my treats? So Kit won't eat dry treats, so I give Kit the wet. Come here. Take a little lick. Oh, take a lick. All right, Trish, you can't take her lick. See, this is what happens with them. This is what happens. Trish takes it and then Kit doesn't get any. There you go, Kit. There you go. Take it. Kit, Trish. Oh my gosh. I knew this was going to be a disaster and my camera's running out of battery. Trish, you focus on the dry. Kit, you focus on the wet. Thank you. Thank you. I knew that this would have to be like organized. No. See, let your sister eat. Okay, so that's that. The other thing that I have in my JW Pay bag is pink lipstick, which I never normally do pink lipstick, but I was like, you're wearing pink pants, you have a pink bag, why don't you do it? This is by Lisa Rinna. I think I talked about this in another episode. I got a few things from her new beauty brand, and I really like this shade of pink. I'm not normally a pink lipstick person, but hey, I like it. I like all of her beauty products, actually. Okay, but so we did the outfit behind the shoes. I am wearing jewelry. I'm not wearing jewelry. I am wearing jewelry. The jewelry I'm wearing today, I had like my little gold wear everyday hoops in. And I was like, let me go bigger because I just feel like bigger hoops screams more like 60s vibes, more colorful, more cool. And I am wearing one gold hoop and one silver hoop. I don't know which side has the gold and which has the silver, but I did it so that you could know that I like both gold and silver the same way I like both cats and dogs. And this episode is about pet fashion, both cats and dogs, even though we are really, sorry, that's my doorbell. They're not delivering my food. Don't worry. I made my dinner today and you'll see why. It has to do with loving to feed my cats. It was Amazon. Today's episode mostly focuses on Charlie. Now, after Lara met Charlie and they started to become, you know, the best of friends and family, of course, she wrote a book. She's a writer and a media personality and just a public figure in general. She's an all-around awesome person. You'll see in the interview, you'll hear about everything that she does, and her ties to the fashion industry as well, and why she is so well-versed in dog fashion as well. But she, as a writer, obviously had to write this children's book, and it's called Charlie at the Palm Springs Hotel because Charlie's a Pomeranian dog and they met in Palm Springs. So it's just so cute, and we're going to read some of it, but I do want to draw attention to the fact that our book is signed. Lara and Charlie signed the book for me, Trish, and Kit, not for Nick. No, I'm kidding. It's for the whole family. And it says, "We rough you." I love it. Okay, so we're going to read a little bit, and then you're going to go and you're going to check out my interview with Lara, and then we're going to have food, and I'm also going to talk to you about some really cute pet fashion brands that I stumbled upon when I went on a deep hole. I went into a deep hole, like Alice in Wonderland, on my gummy. Okay? Okay. So first of all, the forward, adorable, is written by Pat Field, who you should know who Pat Field is when I say that, but if you don't, Pat Field is the costume designer of Sex and the City. She's probably known most well for that, but she's also just like a fashion icon, and she is Charlie's fairy godmother. So she wrote the foreword. And I also just love, by the way, Lara's like me because like I do like my me outfits and like I do feline myself. Like she's just not afraid to be like really super corny and cute about shit because if you don't make light of life, who even are you, you know? All right. Lara called me when she met Charlie in the lobby of a hotel and asked for my opinion on rescuing him, to which I replied with no hesitation, "Get the dog." It was the best decision she ever made. And then there's a little note about inspiration here. Charlie the Pomeranian dreams of a world where hotels and doorman buildings open their lobbies and join paws with local shelters to foster animals and get more involved with adoption events to help his fellow furry friends find homes just like him. Head to prettyconnected.com/Charlie to learn more. And you will also learn more when you listen to my interview with Lara about all of the things she does, all the work she does with incredible adoption agencies. Okay. Hi, I'm Charlie. We're not going to read the whole book, but we're going to read the whole book. Hi, I'm Charlie. I live in the lobby of the Palm Springs Hotel. I get to be the hotel's tour guide and show guests all around the property. They just ask for me at the front desk, and I'm at their service. I like it here. I get to meet new families every day in hopes that one of them will adopt me. Then I'll have my very own family. Ms. Jane at the front desk says it will happen soon, but I don't know when that will be. I feel like I would be a good teacher because I used to practice reading books when I was a kid and I would like do this. I don't know, like when you do this as a teacher, how do you know how long to hold it at each angle so that the kid can like see the photo? You know what I mean? But you snooze, you lose. Anyway, I should also say this is my first time reading this book. I wanted to save it for on camera so that Lara and Charlie could get my actual reactions. Charlie, can you show Grace and her mom to the pool? Asks Miss Jane. Sure, come with me. I can introduce you to my friends along the way. To get to the pool, we go through the door, past the waterfall, and over the bridge. Say hi to the fish. Also, just saying, everyone in this book is dressed like me because they're in Palm Springs, but Palm as in Pomeranian. Just before we get to the pool is the home of my turtle and rabbit friends, I explain. Everyone, meet Grace. I guess I should be doing this, right? Everyone, meet Grace and her mom. They're staying with us for the weekend. Do you all live together? Asks Grace. Yes, we're a family, Scooter, the turtle replies. But you're turtles and rabbits, exclaims Grace. Yes, there are all types of families, and we decided to make our home together, declares Bella the rabbit. Charlie, where's your family? Grace asks. Fuck, I'm gonna cry. I don't have one yet, but I'm hoping to find my forever family soon. Then who tucks you in at night? Grace wonders. Oh my God. Lara's gonna. I shrug sadly. Here we are. This is the pool. Thank you, Charlie. Grace and her mom wave goodbye. As they walk away, I look through the pool gate at all the families and think, are you my forever family? Are you? This is, by the way, before Lara turned up to the Palm Springs Hotel. At the front desk, Ms. Jane is helping another family. Hey, Charlie, do you mind showing Lucas and his dad to the golf course? Sure, Miss Jane. Come with me. We can take the golf cart. To get to the golf course, we follow the path straight down past the lake. We'll be there in a jiff. I love the illustrations. Oh my, oh my. As we pass the lake, we see the swans coming out from their afternoon swim alongside the ducks and their ducklings. Hi, Charlie. Who are your new friends? Asks Maya, the little duckling. This is Lucas and his dad. I'm taking them to their golf lesson. Is this your family? Asks Lucas. Yes, we all live together, answers Mario, the swan. But you're swans and duckies, exclaims Lucas. Yes, there are all types of families, biological and adopted, and we decided to join ours together, Desi, the duck, explains. Charlie, where's your family? Asks Lucas. I smile bravely. I don't have one yet, but I'm hoping to find my forever family soon. Then who tucks you in at night? Lucas wonders. I shrug sadly. The golf course is right up here. Have a nice lesson. Thank you, Charlie, for all your help. Lucas and his dad wave goodbye. Feeling a little down, I decide to take a walk back to the hotel lobby. On my way, I take a break under my favorite willow tree. I'm so deep in thought that I don't even hear George, the night heron, swoop over me. What's the matter, Charlie? Asks George. Oh, hi, George. I was just thinking about my forever family. Miss Jane at the front desk says I'll meet them soon, but I don't know when that will be. Don't worry, Charlie. When the time is right, it will happen. Until then, you have great friends, and we're your family. You're right, George. I feel a lot better. Thank you for listening. I have to get back to the lobby, but I'll see you soon. As I get ready for bed, just like every night before, I dream my forever family will find me soon. Don't worry, Charlie, says Ms. Jane. We've helped a lot of doggies just like you find their forever family. When you meet them, you'll know. It will happen soon. The next day, a nice couple from New York arrives. Their names are Lara and James King. Now, who might you be? Asked Lara softly. That's Charlie, answers Ms. Jane. He's up for adoption. He can show you around while we get your room ready. Come with me. I'll introduce you to my friends, I offer. They're Scooter, Bella, Billy, Desi, and Mario. Oh, and the bees. You have to meet the bees during your stay. They live by the restaurant and make all the honey for the hotel. Once we return to the lobby after our walk, Ms. Jane says, Mr. King, your room is ready. Lara turns to me and smiles. It was nice to meet you, Charlie. I'll come visit you every day. Also, the way Lara has herself illustrated, I mean, she didn't do the illustrations. It was illustrated by Chamberlain Newsome, but it totally looks like Lara. I love that. You probably can't even see. I'm probably just like reading and you're just listening to the words. Like we cannot see the pictures. And she does. We go for walks and play in the grass. Lara even reads to me in her hotel room, which makes me feel so special. And she could have been at Coachella, but you know what? She chose Charlie. On their final evening before heading back to New York, Lara and James walk through the lobby on their way to dinner. We're going to the restaurant if you'd like to join us, Charlie, offers James. Don't worry, Lara, assures Miss Jane. We'll be sure to get him back before his bedtime and tuck Charlie in. Tuck me in, I think to myself. Dinner with a family? Oh, wow, this is going to be the best night ever. Charlie's wearing a striped shirt. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. At the restaurant, Lara lifts me onto her lap and reads me the doggy menu. Can I have the canine casserole and a honey sweet treat for dessert? I request excitedly. James laughs. Someone has quite the appetite. Once we're back in the lobby, Lara tucks me in. I'm going to miss you, she says softly. Sweet dreams. James turns to Miss James and asks in a low voice, has Charlie been adopted yet? She shakes her head no. I feel like I'm getting the chills. Oh my God. The next morning, James and Lara pack up the car to head to the airport. Once they finish loading, James turns to Lara and asks, all set? There's just one more thing, Lara says. She dashes over to Charlie and his animal friends and asks, Charlie, do you want to be a part of our forever family? My eyes get big and I feel my tail wagging like crazy. Yes! Friends, I'm going to New York! Yay, Charlie, his animal friends cheer. You finally found your forever family. The end. This was the sweetest book. Also, as you will find out, as you were about to find out, Lara did tell me that this book is also meant to introduce just the idea of adoption to both children, but then also a lot of adults end up resonating with the sentiments in it. So it is a great book. She's awesome. She's an author. She's so cool. Go ahead and check out our interview.
Oh, Charlie and I met a little over 8 years ago. I was, funny enough, covering Coachella, and he and I met at the lobby of the hotel I was staying at. So he was actually in a foster program where they let one dog live in the lobby, and all the guests can like walk them, socialize them. So I walked Charlie every day. At the time, he was 10 years old, and he had, let me just show you his tail.
Oh my
If you can really see
God.
it.
Yeah.
That's what his whole body looked like. I always say this reminds him of his roots. He was this like hairless, sad senior dog who was picked up on the side of the street, was discarded, probably came from a puppy mill, and got too old to breed. And he was actually picked up by animal control and almost put down, but the shelter animal snared and saved him, and then put him in this program. And I just loved him. I have never had a dog. It was completely crazy to even think I would adopt him, but he'd been there for like 2 or 3 weeks. At that point, it was the longest running dog at the program. No applicants, no interest, and my heart just broke. And except it didn't, because then I got you.
Yes.
And through a lot of miracles, and in a very short span amount of time, we were able to get my landlord to approve, get the application. Since then, Charlie's been on like every interview I've ever done. We've had so many great life experiences. We wrote a book at the end of last year about his little story, Charlie at the Palm Springs Hotel. So we got him in Palm Springs, and he's a Pomeranian. And it's a really happy story. It was really supposed to be about adoption, especially for kids who get adopted. Although in writing the book, we've had a lot of parents who were adopted and said they loved the book because it helped explain, kind of how they and where they came from. And it's a very happy story. Charlie plays the tour guide of a hotel. He shows families around the property. He has all these animal friends with like very unique living. The turtles live with the bunnies. The swans live with the ducks and the ducklings. So it's all these different types of really cool blended families. And the kids are always like, learning about, these different types. And then they're asking Charlie about his family. And he's kind of like, I don't have one yet, but I'm looking for, he wants to meet his forever family. So spoiler alert, at the end, he gets his family. And it's like all the animals cheer. Everyone's so excited. So just as happy, and he's not this sad dog. He gets to like be around his friends. He's got this great community, but he wants to have his own family. So it just really shows the positivity of that. And we donate a portion of the proceeds to animal shelters. We've gotten a lot of dogs adopted, which is really fun. It's been kind of the first part of our journey over 8 years, I think, with just us bonding and, being best friends and really just trying to make him comfortable as people do with a senior. And then he just would make people so happy, whether we were out on the street or at an event, and you just see the joy dogs bring. And then with the book, it's really been more about a journey of getting dogs adopted, raising awareness, getting more of our friends to foster, and just been a ride, right?
I just love that so much. I also feel like you like kind of working in the theme of adoption so that it teaches, but also kind of like harbors the emotion that some people feel having been adopted. It speaks to obviously who you are as like a storyteller in the industry. So let's like talk a little bit about what you do and kind of like the reason why you were at Coachella and what your career path has been.
Yeah, so I was on the brand side of beauty. I was at NARS in marketing. I was at Kiehl's. I was at Leak, all these great brands. And I started a blog probably over 15 years ago at this point. And it was the live journaling days, maybe even 20 years ago. It's kind of crazy to think that far back, but it kind of catapulted me into this world of media because back then, live journaling then turned into bloggers, but I got to be part of that first generation and being so experienced, working for both skincare and beauty brands, doing so many trainings, education. That's what I love to do is tell people about products. Yeah. All my friends worked in the industry. And so once I started consulting versus back then I was a conflict of interest if you worked for a brand, so I started consulting. It was this great way to just meet friends, talk about products. And it wasn't done the way it is obviously now. We didn't have Instagram when I started. But in that time, when Instagram did launch, we did such a great job. I did such a great job, I guess, of, really sharing product ingredients, what you need. And brands always noticed. And pretty much from within the 6 months, I was like, in campaigns for Aveeno, for CoverGirl, and all my favorite magazines. Started dabbling in TV segments. So I sort of kind of just switched into more of the media world and did a lot of red carpet interviews, different types of interviews. And just worked for a bunch of different publications. And it was such a great time, and even now, to kind of evolve my brand. I named it Pretty Connected. That was the blog from the start. I liked it because it wasn't makeup specific. A lot of my generation would do like lipstick this and then change their name because they're actually doing, something else, or a fashion story or travel story. So I always wanted to connect people, talk about pretty things. I didn't have a vision that it would take me down this, I thought I was going to be a VP of a major cosmetic brand and then, work my way up to a CMO. That was sort of the original trajectory, but I just loved the diversity of people I met, the innovation, the opportunities to travel. And so I was actually at Coachella for some music festival segments. I had something with Amazon. I had a segment for Extra TV. And it was just this like serendipitous thing. I had no plans to get a dog. I did adopt cats all my life. I didn't have one while I was in New York, though. I never thought I would adopt a dog, let alone get a dog. Just, it was, my lifestyle was, I'm on these beauty panels, I'm moderating. I was living that true fun, lifestyle, and the responsibility never occurred to me. But then I saw this sad guy. They thought he had like 6 months to a year to live. He had these eyes that just like got me of just like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, you know what? I can grow back his hair. I can do these things. And I actually feel a little grateful that he was older because it took off that pressure. You read all this advice of what you're supposed to do. And I literally took a beauty editor's perspective on how to make him healthy. And now he's like so fluffy. We had so many men and like girlfriends reach out to me about men baldness. Like, how do they get their dog to grow their hair back? Because most of the people over the last 8 years, like Charlie just turned 18, but they have been a part of his journey too, which is very special. Like, I think of him as having like 70 different aunts and uncles in the beauty industry, in the fashion industry. Like, when he meets people and they get to watch him go from this like sad little guy to, kind of the boss he is today. And he's just on Good Morning America. Pop Sugar just wrote this amazing article.
Yeah.
That, by the way. And he's been just like making headlines, and we've had a very creative fashion approach to this book. He's done fashion shows with rescue dogs and celebrities and VIPs. We've done so many fun things, and it's gotten people, I think the mission for me, obviously we want to target kids, parents, the adoption world, but I think what this has really showed me is I wasn't expecting to get a dog. I think it's such a special, cool person who's going to go to a shelter, check those sites. And that is why we share so much on social. We educate to get people in that mindset of like, let me go adopt a cat or a dog. But with creating these other opportunities, just like him living in the lobby of a hotel, doing a dog fashion show where they get to see, Patricia Field do a dog line, get to see, these VIPs walk them, make it a fun party. You're bringing in the fashion, the beauty community, these influencers, these editors into a scene that they're not usually used to. And I think that's what we've been trying to do with our whole media / we're kind of targeting more the general masses because everybody has a kid or knows a kid or is going to a baby shower, children's books, loves an animal, loves a good book, you have to have a good book, right? A good story. It would have been very easy to write like a vanity story of my love for Charlie, but it wouldn't have a bigger message the way I feel like this book does. And the amount of details and thought we put into the words, the illustrations, kids just have loved it. And whether or not, it's not this book that you buy kids, there's these books you buy when someone gets divorced or you're grieving or you're adopting. This just kind of resonates with everybody, and everybody loves like a cheer on happy story. So it's kind of been a great way to approach the storytelling because he's not a sad dog, even when I called him sad at the show. He's got, he's had it pretty made. Yeah. Since he got picked up on the side of the road, and with every day that goes by, I get at least 3 messages a day of people saying, I want to come back as Charlie. I'm like, same.
Yeah. And your connection is like so obvious, and you can see it like when you're doing interviews and just when you have him there with you. And just speaking to my own experience with, I have 2 cats, and it's funny because the one that's behind me right now, Trish, which like you can't really see because she's like blurry, but she is like my soulmate, kind of like you and Charlie. But then I have another cat, Kit, who also, she didn't have any hair when I got her, and we had to grow back her hair, and it was a similar experience. And I just feel like it's so great when like in your life something leads you to a bigger purpose, which like totally is what happened here. And then your brand being called Pretty Connected is like, it was great to go general with your name because it really does encompass like everything everything that you're still doing today. I'm going to flash some photos of the fashion show. And on that note, let's just talk about like Charlie's best outfits. Do you have any like memorable moments? Of course, feel free to talk about the fashion show as well and what Charlie wore to like open the show, but just any memorable outfits that Charlie's worn that have like really stuck with people.
So, I mean, what's great about, you have to consider this book was written like 7.5 years after I rescued him. So we had already had, I'd love to be like, oh, day one, we're going to do this. But it was never like a branding moment of getting this dog. It was just an experience, right? And his outfits actually originated because he didn't have any body hair. And for sun protection, like my biggest tip and the reason why his tail hair never grew back is I couldn't cover it from the sun. Like that is a big, I always say, well, so clothes were always part of him. And all different fabrics, all different types, really to just protect him from the sun. And also it's fun and it's cute. Of course, this is like the one time he's naked. But we have a few memorable outfits. His first was Milkbone had sponsored Charlie to be the red carpet correspondent for the YouTube Stream Awards in LA. And so he wore this little tux and it was adorable with his little microphone interviewing people on the carpet. So that always jumps out at me. At my wedding, actually, so Patricia Field, who did Sex and the City, Emily in Paris, Devil Wears Prada, all the costumes for so many amazing TV shows and movies, who's Charlie's godmother and actually the one when I was nervous about adopting my first dog. I called her and she talked me into it because she had 2 dogs at the time and she runs a very, very busy schedule and always seems to handle it so well. So anyways, she worked with this designer on and off when she had her Bowery store, who did a dog line that was one of a kind pieces, which is really what her clothing end of her line really is about. And art fashion is what she has as, the label of it. She works with so many different designers and artists. So the designer, actually James, he made Charlie a custom piece for our wedding. So that was the second time that I had he had his own special look. And then the third, I mean, there's countless in between, so when Charlie did his fashion show, we brought back a new collection of this Kiss the Dogs collection for Patricia Field Art Fashion, because she still has her gallery in the Lower East Side. And he had this very Carrie Bradshaw outfit, which just felt very on point with him going to, doing a fashion show for his 18th birthday. All these, we partnered with 3 different rescue organizations. She's doing the line, so I needed him to have his, what I call his Charlie Bradshaw moment. But he's walking the red carpet. It's got a tutu. It's got the little Cosmo engraved, the drink on the back. And, that picture went everywhere from like Vanity Fair and all over the internet. It's like to see your dog in a tutu outfit on a carpet. It's so ridiculous. And it was just like so perfect.
Totally. Do you feel like he was like comfortable in it? And
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Good. Charlie is like the clothing thing. In fact, he used to love it because it meant we were going outside. So he's like, oh, my clothes are coming out. So he never had, some dogs don't like it. I know that with my siblings, with their dog, they used to dress the dog when they were younger, and dog hated it because it felt like, oh, it was on show, they would laugh at it, like it's like so cute and funny. But Charlie would always be like, put me in that, like, let's go out. So yeah, he had his little special moment.
I love that.
And turning 18 was such a huge milestone for us.
It's huge, right? Huge for a dog, and especially a dog who's been through what he's been through. I mean, absolutely. It's incredible. So I love, by the way, that Pat obviously inspired you to go ahead and adopt him. Has there been anything that she's taught you, whether it's about fashion or just the industry or like being a busy person in media in general, that sticks with you to this day?
Oh my gosh, so much. I mean, first of all, people always ask me about her closet and they're always surprised when I say she's like actually a minimalist and she really wears her wardrobe. She's somebody who really believes in like quality things, styling, restyling thing, having fun. She just like has that eye for things, and I've been really blessed. She actually came to Coachella with me one year and we went thrifting in Palm Springs, which was so fun. And we've done this sort of all over, but it's fun to watch the way her eye works and how she looks at things. And
I'm sure
she's definitely inspired me to just be more adventurous, be more original. She talks a lot about different proportions. She actually styled my wedding, which I had a very, very crazy, unexpected, adventurous wedding where I actually did a line of the ceremony to all these iconic New York City places, from the Empire State Building to the Met to Grand Central. And we designed these 8 outfits. Everything was sustainable. She's really like about that. We were either pulls or from secondhand stores, but she has this whole thing, like, if you can pin it, pin it. If you can belt it, belt it. If you can have, so we had like fasteners, we had ear, like everything was so, we had a belt, we had this shoe with this, like it was so many fun details, and doing that together was probably one of the best experiences of my life. So yeah, I think the originality is, and she doesn't really look for outside inspiration. She might see it from things she does, but you know, she's still been wearing the same lipstick for probably decades. Like she picks the things she likes. She wears the same jewelry. Like I have a chain line and she wears it every day with her like special rings on it. And I've never seen her without that since the moment I gave her that chain. Like and also if you give her something and it's not like her thing, she'll just like give it away or get rid. Like she's not one to hold on to things. Yeah. Just because they're valuable or they're, you know, special. Like she likes what she likes. And even down to her apartment, it's so original. Like she like bought it, she tore down what she wants to tear down. She brought in things from all over the world, whether it's the lighting, the backdrop, she's got this like metal medieval statue that looks like it weighs 10,000 pounds in there somehow. Like she's so good at like, she's just such a great eye consistently all the way through.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting that you say that. Like people always wonder like, what does her closet look like? Like what really does she go by when it comes to like fashion rules? And it's kind of like nice to hear that that's the way she operates, because it's like a great piece of advice that I think everyone should, you know, have and practice, just to kind of like stick to what you know and what you love, and, you know, don't overdo it. Don't hold on to something just because you feel like you need to, you know? So
absolutely.
Yeah. And I love that you know, did your wedding with her. That's amazing. So do you and Charlie, or just you, have any like fashion bucket list items, or even just media in general, because I know you're also into beauty, that you want to achieve next, or maybe even like a teaser for something that you're working on?
I mean, maybe we have an upcoming bag line. I mean, I definitely have ideas of things. Like having my own line really put into perspective the idea of collaborations, you know, because people always ask me why I didn't scale or do more. So just to like back it up, I had launched these chains probably over like in 2014, I launched these chains for cameras. I had made my own camera chains previously to that because I would go to these fashion weeks and Vogue events, and I didn't want to have, you know, back then the mirrorless camera was like the rage, or the little point and shoots before our phone cameras got so good. So I used to make my own, people asked for them. I ended up manufacturing them, but we decided to make it more of a multi-use chain. You wear it as a necklace, wear it with your, you know, we did water bottle chains, but they all were the same chain that originated this camera chain. Mm-hmm. So when the pandemic happened, I was in the original people to be like, you can actually use it with your mask. And we already had them. They went everywhere. So just Parker was wearing them at every appearance. You know, we did a collaboration with Ketchup. Like it was like the most viral, crazy experience of my life. Here I'm thinking media is dead for at least this like timing. There's no going out. There's no stories. All my TV appearances are canceled. All my panels, all my this, that, and whatever. So I'm like, all right, this is a little break. And then my chain just like goes through the roof. But I never really wanted to do, you know, we'll launch. Now we do phone chains and a few things, but I try not to do too much there because I feel like a lot of things are done and I'm not trying to do that, if you will. So, but I like having a site in a place, and the chains still do well as necklaces, you know, and so on. But doing all of that, knowing what it goes into it, getting a warehouse, the cost of shipping, the time, the marketing, it was great during a time when I had that to myself, but once sort of the world returned, I kind of did too. So it really taught me, like, if I do something again, because people always like, do plushies, do this. Yeah. And it would be great in like, I love this world of drop shipping or something where it's a collaboration with a brand that already has a team that handles all of that, because as you get older and as you get more creative and as you try new things, your time becomes more limited. And right now I am definitely, even though I still work for magazines, I still write, this is my Charlie time. Like when he turned 17, especially with the book, I was like, I really want to prioritize me and him doing things. You know, he's in this doggy fashion show later today, and I like love that. And we do things at shelters. Like we're trying to spend as much, or I'm trying to spend as much time, you know, with this guy and be able to have some space. So I look at like, from a collaboration standpoint, I do have great ideas. I guess if I'm manifesting not just one of my fashion, you know, collabs, but I have all these things I would love to do with Charlie, you know, and I think that would be really the dream. But right now we're just trying to make it all work, right? And he's so busy. It's like now I'm a pomager, from a momager. I was like, what do you do now? I'm like, am I a stay-at-home dog mom? Like, I don't know. Like, I can still do things, but but it's always like for him now, which is hilarious.
That is totally how I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to be like the pomager. I love that.
He was called the Pom Father recently in a video we did. I was like, it is the we do these Pomeranian events that like sell out in New York. Now we have one, we're doing it at SUR, of course, because you need a Lisa Vanderpump moment if you're going to
oh my God.
do a Pom event in LA. And it's so funny because I'm like, is he the oldest? He probably is the oldest one in the crew, but you're quite sprout, sir.
Oh.
Quite a little event host, so we call him a little Pom Father, and I'm a pomager.
That's incredible. Amazing. So let's talk about if you have any favorite brands between the both of you, obviously. And side note, I love that you're prioritizing your time right now to be with Charlie because I feel like that's so important. If you ever looked back and realized that you didn't do that, you would probably have so much regret. So that's incredible. But tell me about your favorite brands. It could be, fashion. It could be just like any dog products like we wrote about for PS. But
yeah,
what do you love?
I mean, I think there's this like hard part about living in New York City. And I think as you talk, like with Patricia Fields sort of influenced me. So I try not to just be like one brand specific. And I've always been a big like thrifter, vintage shops. I love things that last. And my husband's also very into like buying something, even our car. It's like he takes such good care of the thing. So I always try to say like my favorite like brands. Like, yes, I do love Alice and Livia because it's fun and colorful and girly when I'm feeling that. I love, LC when I want more of like a rocker moment and just, I feel like New York, I'm not somebody with one type of style. Mm-hmm. I love vintage belts. So for me, I'm very like piecemeal when it comes to brands. Same thing with him. We'll get something, I will say, Leisure, they're on Amazon. We just got a cooling blanket for him.
Okay.
I have like I'm always learning, too. And I have this great portable fan. There's so many portable fans, but this one's like really high powered. It kind of like clips back so you can just like put it all different angles.
Okay.
I have a whole dog bag set up for him now. And it's incredible. Like he's got the cooling blanket that he sits on top of, so it's not too hot. And even when I take it out to put it in his car seat, because the car gets so hot, like I put that on top of it, or we're at the park, it's like it's been wet. Like it's so great that he just like sits on it and he's cooled down and got his little fan. For me, I'm a big like sunglass person. I'm very big into accessories because I know I can style and restyle them. Mm-hmm. I love big earrings. I do love a lot of little studs. I like that like look. I love layering necklaces. I'm going through a gold phase. So yeah, I think that it's pretty mixed, right? But I love having a big closet of fun, unique things I can just sort of throw together.
Love that.
And that would be my, that would be it, right, Charlie?
Yeah. And finally, this is like the most important question, I feel like, because we're a fashion and food podcast and you live in New York and there are so many great restaurants and spots to bring dogs and like have that stylish moment. So like, what are your top 5 recommendations? Like, where do you and Charlie love going together for good food, but like in style?
Okay, well, sure. It's so funny. I actually have like this whole list now because so many places have become so dog friendly, which is great. Like upstairs at the William Vale, like I love that restaurant. Like getting a drink up there, but now the fact that Charlie can go. Yeah. Also, you should know I have a whole setup for how I can just smuggle Charlie into everywhere. I actually don't even know what isn't dog friendly until I see a video because he's so quiet. And I actually, instead of doing a dog bed, I even do like this whole big weekender bag that I put a bed in.
Oh, so easy.
Like incognito and quiet. He's like, come on. He sleeps the whole time on his little bed and blanket. Lulu's has a great dog menu. You've got Forest and Horton and East Village. There's Chateau Le Wolf in Long Island City. It's just, those 2 places are so fun because you're seeing so many dogs there. They're specifically dog cafes. I want to go to Jillian's. I've been there before, but with him, it's, down in like the Tribeca 13th Street like area near the So Grand, and they're dog friendly, and so I think it's so fun to do it with your dog actually being out in the world. But otherwise, we take him everywhere. He's been to them all.
Yeah. He knows how to work it. He knows when he needs to be hush hush and when he can be out there.
I said a doggy menu is pretty key because actually in his children's book, when we get introduced into the book, we take him we actually did. And that's what's fun about the children's book too, is we have photos kind of against the pages because it seems ridiculous that it actually like is true.
Yeah.
So we have these great photos of the restaurant on the property and they had a dog menu. So Charlie actually orders what he ordered the time that we ordered for him. So it's really cute when I see a dog menu at a restaurant in New York because it gives me that like nostalgic like moment.
Yeah.
Although in all honesty, he can barely need any of them. You gotta eat like the most natural. Oh Norman. We love Oh Norman.
Okay.
For him. They have cute little clothes and things, but they have these like pumpkin treats. I cut them up, I put them in his like prescription food, and he eats it right up. So they're a great brand. They donate to rescues.
Amazing.
It's Kelly Coco's, and I always mess up her last name. It's her line, and they just are so, I love brands that like have a great message, and that they're super like considerate about their ingredients, how they even make their clothes, making sure, you know, they just have sustainability and like their process down. So they're a great one, right? That's one of our favorites.
Amazing. Okay, so now that we're back, we're gonna end with the food, and you'll see the food is gonna involve Trish and Kit because it's a pet-friendly episode, so I had to. I want them to dine with me. But I just want to talk through some of like on command. Okay, so right now the light of my phone is like reflecting, and this makes Trish crazy. So let's see what happens. But what I'm going to do right now is walk you through some dog and cat pet fashion companies that I am obsessed with. Gonna flash them here so you can start to follow them and literally just gush over them because they're so cute. I was like, as I mentioned earlier, in a hole, had taken my gummy. I was like, holy fuck, like, this is so cute. Okay. First of all, a street cat named Benson. Benson just dresses up. If you love cats like me and you love fashion, you follow Benson. I now follow Benson. This is adorable, and he just wears the coolest outfits, and very often Benson will tag who and what he's wearing. Highly important. But really I'm going to tell you like where you can shop for fashion for your dogs and cats, but I just had to like say how obsessed I am with a street cat named Benson. Okay, that cat is more stylish than me. All right, so Cat Person. I actually have bowls for Trish and Kit from Cat Person. I love this brand. They don't just do clothes, but I did think that this little reel was so friggin' cute. I like that there's Cat Person for the human and then just cat for the cat. So cute. We have Fit for Royalty designs that I found, and Fit for Royalty just basically does like bejeweled everything. She's a crystal embellisher specializing in handcrafted luxury pet accessories featuring Austrian crystal elements, which like, yes, your pet deserves. Yes. What else? We have French Con Boutique. They do incredible collars for cats, collars for dogs, just friggin' adorable. Along the way, I also found Honey the Iggy as the account, but Honey and Pepper, who were wearing these adorable striped turtlenecks by Hillary's Hounds. And Hillary's Hounds is another brand. And by the way, with cats and dog clothing brands, I feel like it's interchangeable. Like you can get a dog sweater for your cat. You can get a cat sweater for your dog, you know, whatever the fuck. Okay. We also, of course, as you just heard in the interview, we have Pat Field's dog brand called Kiss the Dogs. And that's on her website if you do want to check it out. Neon Cowboys is actually a light up party accessory brand that producer Megan showed to me a while back because they do these light up hats for cats and dogs too. And I'm just like obsessed with it. I love this reel of the cat like sitting there in the pink neon cowboy hat. Oh Norman, we talked about Oh Norman, Kaylee Kyoko's brand, and Lara mentioned them, but they make really cute clothes. They're often sold out, but this is Courtney Cox's dogs wearing the hoodie that says freeloader. Oh my God, I love it. Rambo the Puppy is yet again another really cute pet Instagram account that I found, but they are wearing Spark Paws. They do really cute hoodies. I love these pastel ones. The dog and the cat wearing pastel matching hoodies. I die. Okay. Roro Riri, I really love too. I love this matching denim moment. I thought this was so cute. It's like the distressed denim moment. You also have Ruby Rufus. They do really cool colored like cashmere sweaters, and it's just super chic. I like that for like September. I don't know. And then we also have the Supreme Paw Supply, which is just so cool. They literally describe it as dog drip, but it's all like branded apparel. So I loved this reel of like the cat wearing this like Louis Vuitton fleece. I'm like, I want that Louis Vuitton fleece. It's just so cool. And we have the Max Bone. The Max Bone does this like embellished blue sweater that a lot of the dogs on its account wear, and I love it. Do you want that embellished blue sweater? I would have dressed them up today, the girls up, by the way, but no. I've tried that before and they literally hate me for like a week, so I couldn't do that. I just couldn't bear it. And then finally, the final Instagram that I got obsessed with is Yes Warm G. I think that's how you pronounce it. A professional Sphynx clothing store. These cats are so chic. I love their looks. I could scroll on this account forever. So those are just like the dog and cat fashion accounts and brands that I discovered that I now am obsessed with. But before I leave you, and I never put my shoe back on, I'll put my shoe back on to go get tuna. Now, the reason why I'm having tuna fish today is because my baby's favorite food in the world is tuna fish. And I thought that it would be cute if we fed the cats at the same time that I was eating, just because that is the name of the game with this episode. So I'm going to get the tuna. I actually made the tuna. I experimented with a new recipe today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So let's go taste. Here you have Sarah's homemade tuna fish. Let me quickly tell you about my homemade tuna fish. I always do sweet relish. I've always liked relish in tuna fish. Trish, come here. Come eat tuna. Kit, tuna. Come here, bubby. Come on, we're all eating together, bubs. Come on. Tuna. Here. Right there. Right there. Yep. Come on up. We're all eating yummy. Okay, so I always put relish in my tuna fish. I just massage my spinach with some olive oil. In my tuna has garlic powder, onion powder, sweet relish, tuna, Dijon mustard, and I tried capers today for the first time because we've been putting capers in our Greek salad and I just had to try it. So let's see what we think. So I don't use mayo in my tuna. Important. Here. Girls, don't be shy. Eat. I really do like the addition of the capers. I think capers just go so well with fish, any kind of fish. So I would recommend this. I don't know, I just think I did a really good job. This is delish. We all are happy and we all eat. And we love Charlie and we love Lara. And Kit's deciding to eat the spinach instead of the tuna, which is just like her, really just like her. We will be here eating our nummy and probably rereading Charlie at the Palm Springs Hotel because, oh my God, that book was incredible. Thank you for coming. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about Dinner for Shoes. Love you. Bye.